what is your favorite BLAP kit that you've made yet?
Oh man, favorite BLAP kit? I'm gonna go out of the limb and say Volume 1.
And why is that?
I just think Volume 1 was sort of, I mean, obviously the starting point with the whole like drum kit thing. And it was just like, you know, emotionally it was like sort of this thing where I'm like, man, like if I put out a drum kit, you know, I need to make sure that I put some really, really good shit on there. So like when I did BLAP-KIT Volume 1, it allowed me to kind of go back to my catalog and start loading up. Like I was loading up, you know, joints from my ASR 10 that I did, you know, 5 years prior, 10 years prior. And it just allowed me to kind of like go back to nostalgia a little bit and pull these drum sounds that you know, that I loved using and that people, you know, love to hear on the record. So, excuse me. So BLAP-KIT Volume 1, man, I think it's just kind of like the overall like starting point to the whole thing. There's a lot of quality on there, and it's like a culmination of like the beginning of my career to now, you know, in terms of drum sounds, and allows you to sort of see the evolution, and it's all just really good stuff on there. So
cool.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about the just a little bit about the process when you're making these your kits? You put a lot of love into them. You put a lot of time into them. You're not just bouncing out wave files.
Yeah.
Can you just tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. It's weird because like when I put a kit out, like a, you know, like a BLAP kit with the drums. Yeah, I'm sort of like, well, the first thing I do is I'll set off, you know, at least a week off my schedule, and I'll just take the whole week and just get into just like sound design mode. So I'll spend a whole week, like, you know, 8 hours a day, just like creating sounds, making sounds, pulling sounds that I used in other beats and updating them and manipulating those. So it's a whole process, but like it's just as fun for me to do as, you know, actually creating beats. I just get a kick out of like sound design and creating textures, and also too, it's just something that I was doing anyway. You know, like I would sit there and make drums, and I would make them for my own use. So any drums that I put out on you know, the BLAP kits or even like sample packs, it's all stuff that I do and stuff that I use myself. It's just the whole philosophy is just me sharing that with people so that they can create their own shit with it. So yeah, I guess that's sort of like the process on how it works.
Cool. Do you like it when you hear other people's beats and you hear your own sounds? Is there?
I love it.
You feel a little pride in that?
It's so great. It's so cool. It amazes me every time I hear it. You know what I mean? Like there's actually this really awesome singer. He's independent, named Christian Gray, and his production team used, you know, throughout the album they used a lot of BLAP kits, and that's like one of those albums that I like genuinely really like. Like I bought the album on iTunes. Like I'll play it in the car while I'm driving, just like when I'm at the airport I'll play it. Like I'm a genuine fan of the album and him. So just like hearing my sounds in there is was definitely just like super inspiring to me, man. Like it's just cool to know that there's people are actually getting results from the sounds. It's not just this like fake thing where it's like, oh, let me just sell a bunch of random sounds and then like
it's not a cash grab.
It's not a cash grab. Right. It's like people are buying them, they're inspired by them, and they're making really good songs with them, and a lot of them are getting placements. You know, like Jake One used a couple sounds on the Drake album, on the second half of Furthest Thing. There's some BLAP-KIT stuff on there, and I can't even. There's a whole laundry list, but the placements are happening, and it's just it amazes me every time when I hear a story that there was a placement that happened because of a BLAP-KIT.
That's cool.
It's amazing. So
cool. Can you tell me about this your new form? Tell me what it's called. It's a big endeavor. Tell me about what you hope it grows into.
Yeah. So I started this club called the BLAP-KIT Platinum Club, and it was just sort of my way of sort of thinking of a system to where I can really keep in touch with these guys purchasing the kits. You know, these producers, you know, buying the kits and using them in their own productions, you know, I wanted to figure out a way of how I could really get in there and give back even more and continue to inspire these guys, you know. And so I had this idea of starting a club, the BLAP-KIT Platinum Club, and it's a monthly membership. So, you know, we do things like free mini BLAP kits for members only. You know, huge discounts on all the kits. Anytime I come out with a new BLAP kit, all my members get it 1 day earlier, which is really cool. You know, no limit on, like, you know, the discontinued kits. They have access to all those. And then I do, you know, cool things like screen shares, where once a week I'll be in the studio and then I'll share my screen with them so they can see what I'm doing. And then, you know, group Ustreams and collaborations, which I'm really excited about, where I would have my members send me beats, and then if I hear anything I like, I'll hit them back and ask them for stems, and we'll collaborate on the track and then take that track and shop it out to get a co-production credit and get some placements going. So far it's been 2.5 weeks, and I'm already collaborating with like 8 producers.
It's amazing.
You know, and which I'm like all really excited about. Like, this is not me like, well, let me just like collaborate with this person because like I feel bad, or like because like I should because they're a member. It's like, nah, it's like, it's real shit. Like, if your shit isn't good enough, like get better, keep sending me shit, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get better over time. But there's a handful of guys that got it. They got it and they send me stuff and I'm like, yo, I need that right now. Like, I'm genuinely excited when I'm collaborating with these guys. So
that's cool.
It feels good, man, and I'm excited to see where this goes.
What is your favorite Mobb Deep album besides The Infamous?
I mean, honestly, yeah. See, I was gonna say Hell on Earth, but I mean, I'm not just because I'm a part of the new album, but like, I really like the new album.
I do too.
I think it was just like a whole new side of Mobb Deep. It proved to us that they still have the chemistry, they're still hungry, you know, and they're still able to make a good album, a really good album in 2014 for, you know, being a group that's been around for so long. That's a really important turning point for them, and I'm honored to be a part of that album.
You got some sick joints on that album.
Thank you. So I would say even more than Hell on Earth, man. I think that's like currently one of my favorites.
That's cool.
The new album.
What's your favorite action movie of all time?
Favorite action movie? Fuck, there's so many.
You can give me like top 3 or top 5.
Well, I love RoboCop. My number 1 favorite action movie actually is Hard Boiled.
Nice.
You know, I'm a huge John Woo fan. So, matter of fact, my top 3 are probably all John Woo joints. I would say Hard Boiled is number 1, The Killer is number 2, and Bullet in the Head Part 2 is number 3.
Okay.
But all his shit is crazy. So John Woo, all 3. Ain't no one touching John Woo.
What hip hop producer has been the biggest influence on you?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Jay Dilla, hands down. Jay Dilla, hands down. I mean, he was the guy that was influenced by my influences as well. You know, Preem, Pete, Large Pro, all these guys, and just took it to another level. And so I would say most of my inspiration in hip hop production is drawn from Jay Dilla. Rest in peace. He's the greatest of all time to me.
Is it true that doesn't Dilla not use Snap to Grid? Like, he did it all
live? From what I heard, he used the MPC 3000. So he would sit there and chop the sample for 3 minutes, just off the grid, and then he would program the drums for 3 minutes and then do everything. So he would literally do it like a band would do, one by one. That's just what I heard. I'm sure he didn't do that for every beat, but just when I heard about that, that just blew my mind. So
that's cool.
Yeah.